All right, so this is one of my favorite games to use in therapy because it works on a lot of different skills. If we're going to look at this from more of a fine motor perspective, a tip that I usually give kiddos when we're first introducing tweezers is that we always want the arch or the rainbow to be pointed up to the sky, because that's going to encourage those fingers to be down at the bottom and use more of what we call a tripod pinch, which is the first three fingers down here at the bottom. You might see your kiddo turning it and using more of the whole fist. That's just likely because they don't have the finger strength yet. Perhaps they don't quite have that dexterity yet to be able to have it more at the bottom. And that's okay if that's initially what you start to see, but eventually with more practice, we want to see that they're understanding how we're using them properly. So with this toy, again, we can go and pick up our little dinosaurs and put them in the coordinating containers. We can also work on, if your kid is having a hard time with the tools, you can always go back just to fingers and have them, encourage them to use what I always call your pinchers. You might say your munchers, and you can model for them to use a pincer grasp to pick one up. You do this if you see your kiddo using a grasp like this. We call this a raking grasp. So if they're using their fingers and trying to pull it all the way into their palm and they're not isolating those fingers, you can start modeling for them that we use these three, a tripod again, or more of our pinchers, and we're picking up small objects. We'd like to see this around 10 months. Usually we'll start seeing that when kids are starting to finger feed and they're picking up small objects from the tray. You might see it a little bit sooner, but in general around that time, 8 months to 12 months. But we definitely want to see that it's there a couple months after 1 year old. If we're not seeing that, then we might want to talk to the pediatrician and just let them know that we have some concerns about fine motor skills if we're not able to pick up small objects, especially an object like this, because this is small, but it's not as small as maybe a Cheerio would be. So if we're not picking something like this up, you're definitely going to want to talk to the doctor if we're not doing that by that age.